What's going on YouTube? It's Honeybear. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the top 5 Warzone guns you should be using. We're going to go over the builds in depth. We're also going to go over the attachment tuning and how to go about tuning your guns properly. So I'm hoping this will let you know which guns you should have leveled up, which attachments you need to get unlocked, and how to go about tuning your guns. So if you're going to use something outside of this top 5, so that you can use your weapon tuning to get your guns in the best spot possible for both recoil control, bullet velocity, damage range, all of those things. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So in this top 5, we're going to have 3 close range guns. We're going to have 2 distance guns. At number 5, we're going to have the Warzone 9K. This is probably the top competitive gun because of its versatility. For casual play, this gun's a little bit further down on the list because of its skill gap that you need to have to be able to control it well, especially at distance. So for the attachments on this one, we're running the Cronin Mini Pro Optic, the Marquee R7 stock, the True Tac grip, the 45 round mag, pretty muzzle. So I want to show you the tuning on each one of these attachments. Please take screenshots as we go through, but I will show you how I came up with each of the tunings on every attachment on every gun today. So as you see, I don't have the sliders cranked all the way to one side. Based on some information from some of the other content creators out there, we've learned that the scale on these slides is not linear, meaning I'm not getting more aim down sight speed the further that I crank down this slider. I'm not getting more bullet velocity necessarily the more I crank it, the more I bring this over, the more it cranks up the bullet velocity type of thing. So what I did was I watched the graph basically that it gives us here as I went through each attachment, and I picked a point where I felt like I was getting the best aim down sight. So for aim down sight, it's your handling here. I was getting the best aim down sight without getting the least amount of penalties and balancing it that way. So if you see here, I've got the weight at minus 0.90 ounces. So if you slide this back to 0, okay, the handling is at basically right on this line. As I slide it out, it gets basically up to the next line, and then for the most part it stops moving. It's not getting any faster ADS, but if you watch the other items on that graph, they are still moving. So if I slide this to 0.9, it gets me pretty close to this line. I can get a little bit more ADS speed, but I really start to get more penalties the more I crank this down. Same thing with the bullet velocity. We're at 0.42. If I try, and that's range here. If I try to crank this out, I don't really get a lot more range. But if you watch the rest of the graph, I'm getting accuracy penalties way more than I need to take. At 0.42, I have the least amount of penalties, and I really have the most range I'm going to get out of that attachment. So that's the tuning for the muzzle on the Warzone. So 0.9 on the ADS speed, 0.42 on the bullet velocity. For the optic, we're always going to have the optics as far away as we can get them. That lessens visual recoil, and it doesn't hurt any of the other attributes on the gun. It doesn't really do much for the rest of the attributes. As far as ADS speed on the optic, we're going to have this one at minus 2.52. For the stock, we're going to go aim walking speed, so minus 1.32. And for the ADS speed, we're going to be minus 1.42. And then for the rear grip, we're going to go ADS speed to a minus 0.35. And we're going to go sprint to fire speed at minus 0.15. So that's your Warzone 9K. So for number 4 on the list, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but for me, it's the Lockman sub or the MP5. I feel like it's good, but it can be inconsistent. And I don't know if that's maybe some of the shot placement multipliers and things, but it feels inconsistent to me as more of a casual player than a competitive player. So for the attachments on this one, we're going to go the Extend RR40 muzzle, the VLK laser, the Lockman TCG 10 rear grip, the 50 round drum, and the FSS Shark Fin 90 underbarrel. So for the tuning on that muzzle, we're going to go with ADS speed at 0.45. We're going to go aiming bullet velocity, at plus 0.23. For that shark fin underbarrel, we're going to go aim down sight speed at minus 0.59. And we're going to go aim walking speed because we want a little bit better strafe speed with a sub if we can get it at 0.22, minus 0.22. And then the last attachment we can tune on this one is going to be that rear grip. So we're going to go again, aim down sight speed at minus 0.26 and sprint to fire speed at minus 0.16. So that's going to be your MP5 or Lockman sub. And for me, number 3 on the list is going to be our first long range option, which is going to be the RPK. I think the RPK is very consistent. It's nice because without putting a magazine on it, you have 75 rounds. The reload time is closer to an AR than it is an LMG, and we can really build it out to give us some damage range bullet velocity. So for the attachments on this one, we're going the Seiken Tread 40 muzzle, the TAC 597 barrel, the SZ SRO7 optic, the heavy support stock, and the high velocity rounds. So for tuning on this one, for the muzzle, we're going for recoil stabilization with 0.3 plus 0.39. And we're going to go for, again, recoil or gun kick control at plus 0.23. For the barrel, we're going for aim walking speed. I tried sliding the recoil steadiness. Really, it didn't give any additional accuracy going for recoil steadiness. So we're going to take advantage of what aim walking speed we can get at minus 0.34. And then we're going to go for damage range with a plus 0.21 on that barrel. For the optic, again, as far away as we can get it. And then ADS speed at a minus 1.35. For the stock, we're going with ADS speed at a minus 1.81. And we're going for aiming idle stability, some recoil control here at plus 1.24. And then for the rounds, we're going to go with bullet velocity at plus 6.68 grams and recoil smoothness at minus 0.45. Again, I looked at possibly trying to get some damage range out of this. You're really not gaining any range for how many negatives you're getting for that. So that is our RPK, number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list for me is going to be one of my new favorites, which is going to be the Mini Bach. It is super fun to use, good movement speed, good amount of ammo with it, with the 64 rounds that you get, and a really good TTK and movement speed with this one. So for attachments on this one, we're going with the Bach 9 279mm barrel, the Choreo laser, the Cronin Mini Pro optic, the FT TAC Elite stock, and the True TAC grip. So for tuning on these, we're going with aim walking speed, again, sub. If we can get better strafe speed, we're going to take it at minus 0.16. And we're going for damage range. I tried the ADS speed on this one, but again, I wasn't really getting any gains for the amount of negatives that we were getting. So we're going to just take the damage range increase that we can get at 0.17. For the optic, again, as far away as we can get it. And then the ADS speed on this one, your best setting is at minus 1.26. For the FTAC Elite stock, we're going to go with ADS speed at minus 1.03 and aim walking speed at minus 1.01. And then for that rear grip, we're going again ADS speed at minus 0.77 and sprint to fire speed at minus 0.28. So for our favorite gun, our number 1 gun to use in Warzone right now is going to be our other long distance gun, which is going to be your TAC 56, aka the Scar. This gun's TTK is great. The recoil control is amazing. It's just going to be your best balanced gun for your more casual player. So for our attachments on this one, we're going with the RF Crown 50 muzzle, the 17.5-inch Tundra barrel, that SZ SR07 optic, the FSS combat grip, and the 60 round mag. So for our tuning on this one, for our muzzle, we're going with just a minus 0.05 for ADS speed. We're not getting a lot of extra ADS speed. We're really not getting any great recoil control with the tuning on this one. So we'll take what little bit of ADS speed we can get, and then just a plus 0.15 on that gun kick control. Again, we're not getting a lot of extra recoil control out of that with any additional tuning, and we're losing a lot of the handling on the gun. So for the barrel, we're going to go with aim walking speed. Again, I tried the recoil steadiness. I wasn't really gaining anything for what negatives we were getting, so we're going to take a minus 0.31 towards aim walking speed on this one, and then we're going to take a minus 0.12 towards ADS speed on this one as well. That optic is going to be very similar to the rest of them. We're going all the way far away, and then minus 0.232 for the ADS speed. For the rear grip, we're going a minus 0.19 for ADS speed and a plus 0.25 for the aiming idle stability. And if we take this one into the firing range, you'll see why it's one of my favorites here. Just shoots straight. I took down all 3 targets in 18 bullets. I mean, that's... You can't ask for better than that with a long range option. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to have way more content coming out. We're just getting started here with Warzone 2. I love y'all. Be kind out there. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!